Are you a person with a disability that feels it holds you back from what you want to achieve in your life? I want to encourage you to know that anything is possible. Tune into my interview today to hear from Saylor Cooper, who wants to tell you never to stop pursuing your dreams.
Welcome to Biz Help for You with host Candy Messer. Entrepreneurs like to focus on the big picture, like profitability, success, and a smooth running organization. But there always seems to be those little things like taxes, employee compensation, laws, regulations, and more. Now you can get the answers you need in one place. Join us today as we break it all down for you. Now, here's your host, Candy Messer.
Hello and welcome to Biz Help for You with Candy Messer. Thank you for joining me today. If you missed my last episode and would like to listen to the show, links can be found on my social media pages as well as multiple favorite podcast platforms. And if you'd like to receive notifications on when my podcasts have been uploaded, please like and subscribe. Now, let's learn a little bit about my guest today. Saylor Cooper is more than just an entrepreneur. He's an inspiration. Despite facing the challenges of living with a disability, Saylor has never let that stop him from pursuing his dreams. Alongside his best friend Tyler, he's embarked on a journey in entrepreneurship that has taken him to incredible heights. At the heart of Saylor's mission is the belief that anything is possible if you put in the hard work. And that's exactly what he's done. Saylor has big plans for the future, including monetizing his internet radio station and hosting life coaching events to help others achieve their dreams. He's also set his sights on writing a number of books, including an autobiography about his own life and a collaborative work with some of his most inspiring podcast guests. Ultimately, Saylor's goal is simple. He wants to show others that no matter what challenges they may face, anything is possible if you have a dream and are willing to work hard to achieve it. And with Saylor leading the way, there's no limit to what we all can achieve. So, Saylor, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, I am looking forward to our conversation. I know Saylor and I met back in person in November. We were actually at a podcast workshop where we were supposed to try to get 12 episodes recorded, right? And I actually am one of those people that if you give me, something to do, an objective, I'm going to try to do it. So I did record. Actually, I only got 11 because one guest was a no-show, but it was fun actually getting to know you while we were there, and we chatted and said, hey, let's get together and have a podcast recording at some point. So today's the day.
Yes, indeed. Today's the day. It was, that trip at Casa de Valencia was fun. I think I got 7 or 8 episodes recorded. I had a couple of no-shows as well, but no, it was a fun trip. I enjoyed us going to the beaches, getting on the boat. It was fun. We had a fun time. And you know what? The fabulous Julianne, she's great, and I can't wait for my business to really pick up so I can just get on an airplane and go back to Puerto Vallarta and be with Julianne whenever she's,
It was fun, but it was also work, right? So we did get some things done for our podcast. But so just for the listeners, why don't you just tell them a little bit about your story, just a couple minutes of, who you are and how you overcame your personal challenges to become an entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah. Well, by the way, the bio you read was a little outdated. I updated it ever since I gave it to you. Maybe I should have given it to you, the updated version, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm Saylor. And of course, I'm an entrepreneur, speaker, podcaster, and a published author. I just published my very first book called Navigating Life's Challenges, Understanding Personality, Stress, and Family Dynamics. I'm a person who's been almost blind my whole life, but I've never let it stop me. And of course, I've overcome a lot of challenges, but I never let them hinder my life. And therefore, now I'm a successful entrepreneur and things are only just getting started.
Nice. Well, I think today, again, my goal is really to encourage those who may say, well, I really can't pursue my own business because I have a disability, whether, it's autism, it's visually impaired, it's hearing impaired, it's, whatever it is. Really, I wanted to encourage those who might be listening and thinking they couldn't do it to say that's not true, right? And so that's kind of where I wanted to go today. But I thought that was something that was interesting when I first met you too, is that you talk about having your own radio station, not just like a podcast on a show or something, but a station. So I would love for the audience and myself even to hear the story of how did you even start a radio station and how did you keep that going?
Let me go way back. I've been wanting to do radio since I was a kid. And let me tell you the backstory. I've always been interested in radio. When I was growing up, when I would come home from school every day, I know I had to do homework, right? But I would sit in my room, listen to radio, listen to the DJs talk, listen to them be happy and give away contests and prizes. But of course, also I was singing on the side too. I was singing a song in opera, Andrea Bocelli. And so one night, it was a Friday night, my mom and dad, they got home from the regular day at work, whatever they had to do, and we were just hanging out in their bedroom. And I said, Mom and Dad, I want to tell you something. I have a Valentine's Day gift for you. I want to take you to the radio station. And my stepdad was like, what? Saylor wants to go to the radio station? No. He wants to take us to a radio station for Valentine's Day? No, he's just trying to say he wants to go. So my stepdad takes me to a radio station the next day. And I basically wanted to go to sing Andrea Bocelli in Italian, but mainly, of course, to get my foot in the door of radio, because after all, singing a song was a crafty, sneaky plan. And so I went to a radio station. I sang the song. I belted out the song in Italian. And the DJ had limited time. And so the DJ, she looked at the program director. So I let him keep going. He's like, yes, go. And so I sang that whole song in Italian on air. And guess what? I knew that wasn't enough. I wanted to go to the TV station. So I sang on 3 different TV talk shows. And of course, I got an open invitation to come back when I learned a new song, but I really never had an interest in singing. So I quit. I was done. But of course, that never stopped my interest in radio. I kept pursuing my passion for radio. I attended a radio summer camp and also did radio shows in high school. And by the way, this is part of my keynote that I'm telling because I'm getting into speaking as well. But yeah, I did radio for high school, but it wasn't until after high school where I had the most challenges. I went to college for a little bit to study mass media, but a lot of the courses were visual. And as you know, college is not for everybody. And so I entered and completed a broadcasting apprenticeship through the Broadcasters Mentoring Group in California that pairs aspiring broadcasters with current ones. And I mentored under Nick Russo at Houston's New Country 100.3 The Bull. I mentored under him for about 6 months, and we did audio assignments from recording, audio production, laying the board. However, of course, the environment there wasn't accessible for my needs. And so it wasn't until after I completed that, one of my good friends who's also blind introduced me to the Station Playlist Studio Suite, which contains automation software and audio playback software. And basically it's very accessible, very special scripts that accompany it where I can make my software work with it. So he introduced me to that. And thanks to him, I now run a fully automated 24/7 internet radio station called Real Variety Radio, which plays many genres of music throughout the day, and it even includes voice tracking, remote voice tracking capabilities. And I'm not done. No, I hope to hire other people on there and pay other DJs to do a show of their choice. You know what my mom told me? You know what my mom said when I was little? Saylor, he is going to own a radio station one day. And you know what? Look at me now.
Nice. And it's definitely technology has changed things. It's funny, you don't know this about me either, but I was actually a DJ in high school. They had a radio station there that probably transmitted about 5 miles or
Yeah.
something. Nothing big, but
Yeah.
I mean, I had to get a license, and it was back in the day where you had the turntables and the records, and you had to, have the headphones to figure out where the song was going to begin and log everything. And, it was a lot of work, but that was many, many, many years ago. And definitely things have changed now. I know there's a lot of digital things that are
Yeah.
going on, even what I don't even know at this point. So I think that probably has helped in some ways because of your disability. It doesn't limit you, where maybe in the past it would have been harder.
But yeah, in my story, unique there, how I got my foot in the door and the radio and all that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So if someone's listening right now, though, too, and is saying, like, well, I'm interested, like, Saylor, you inspired me. I just, I heard where you like did one little step and then got your foot in the door, and you've been able to go along this path and, kind of do the things you wanted to do. But I don't know what I should be doing to take that step towards entrepreneurship because of a struggle that I have. Like, what would you say to them to encourage them to try to go out there and succeed?
Never back down. You can't go about it alone. Seek help from authors, coaches, entrepreneurs. It's thanks to a couple very good friends of mine, Kevin Cook and Scott Irwin. They weren't sure what I wanted to do, but they saw a vision in me. They knew whatever it is, I could do something great. And so they invested in me. They provided funding for me. And because of that, I've been able to meet all of you and Michelle, and we went to Puerto Vallarta together. And so I encourage anybody who's thinking about entrepreneurship, don't be afraid to ask for help. And most importantly, have courage and a dream to do it.
Having those cheerleaders who are there, to help, whether, like you said, you've had a few different ways people helped, whether it was financially or just through, support, like encouraging you to keep on. I think we all need that. It doesn't matter if someone has a disability or not. We all need to have that support because it gets hard sometimes, when you're an entrepreneur, and to have like a mentor or a mastermind group or friends, business associates really that you could reach out to for that support, I think is really important.
Exactly.
So obviously you also said you're a podcaster, and so like what tips would you give to someone who is eager to start a podcast as well?
Think about the topic you want to talk about. Think about the impact it will have on others, because mine is Hope Without Sight. It features people who've overcome any challenges in life. And the lesson that it teaches is, regardless of any challenges, any circumstances you may have, you can truly live a life of bliss. And bliss is a must-use word in my vocabulary now, because the sound of a word makes me feel overall so good. I'm even getting ready to host events that surround bliss, how to live life with bliss. I was hoping to launch a premium event called the Blissful Life Mastermind, but I'm still figuring some stuff out. I didn't get enough people to sign up. So me and my team were reevaluating stuff again, revamping it, and we'll just try again and we'll get there.
Well, that's things that happen in business as well, too. Not everything we do is necessarily going to be successful, right? There's, I remember one time I was putting together a workshop because there was something the government said you had to do, right? And I wanted to educate people. And I only had, I think, 5 or 6 people, that signed up. And I was thinking, gosh, this is so important for everyone. And I wonder, like, what did I do wrong, right? But I think, too, there's a lot of different things that can go into that, right? And I think just stepping back, like you said, and analyzing again, maybe what happened well, like what maybe do I need to change? Does it take more time to get the word out there? Maybe it's not that it wasn't a great thing, that people want. It's just they didn't get the chance to find out about it in enough time, so like analyzing all of that and learning from whatever mistakes we may have and then coming back even stronger.
Exactly. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Yeah.
Right?
Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah. In an entrepreneurial journey, we're always going to have our ups and downs. I mean, I remember seeing one time there was like an image that said entrepreneurship, what I think it is, right? And you're starting in the lower left-hand corner and it's a straight arrow up, right? And then it says
Right.
what it really is, and it looks like spaghetti, right? It's just
Yeah.
you're going and things happen and you get sidetracked and so I think too, that's one reason why I want to have this podcast too, is really to encourage people, because I think sometimes we look at others and we see the success and then we look at ourselves and we're like, well, we're not where we want to be. And then, we might feel down about that. And so I wanted people to hear, like, really, what is it truly like, not just those glossy images that are out there, but what is it that is truly happening? And so you're being able to even say, like, I had this plan and it didn't exactly work, and now we're going to go back and figure out what we need to do to amend it, can help someone else who's listening too and say, like, okay, I thought I was going to do something well and it didn't work out the way I wanted to, but that's okay, right? And then take the next step.
That's exactly.
Mm-hmm. So what resources then do you recommend to someone with a disability to help them in the entrepreneurial journey too? We've already talked a little bit about having a mentor, or having the support of friends, family, whether it's financial or not, but are there other resources maybe that would help in this situation where there is some type of disability?
Certainly, if you do have a disability, you are entitled to receive services from your state's vocational rehabilitation agency. Each state has a commission, for the blind or for any other disabilities. So speak out to your state agency, and it's called a vocational rehabilitation services. Every state has their own agency. So reach out to them and see in what ways they could help you with your entrepreneurship journey.
And what type of resources in general do they, support you with when you go there and they say, yes, you qualify? Like, what are the types of things that they may help you with?
Oh, sure thing. If you need like anything from basic training, such as assistive technology, orientation, mobility, vocational rehab teaching services, such as assistance function in your home, they can help you. Also, indeed, if you need any type of equipment to perform your daily job functions, such as a computer, software, as long as you justify, the state can purchase the equipment for you, because a lot of the times the equipment's very expensive.
Right. I mean, I would assume that's going to be the case. Like, if there's, like in your case, if you have a vision impairment, I'm sure there's things that will help you be able to like read documentation, or like to even do your podcast. Maybe there's other equipment that I don't even know that you need, right? To be able to do what you want to do successfully.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So tell us, any other stories maybe that would demonstrate, how you've been able to go from, where you were, maybe thinking like, what type of job am I going to do? Or I was in college and I didn't really enjoy it. And like, what are my next steps to becoming the entrepreneur that you are today, where you're saying, like, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a podcast host, I own a radio station. What are the things that maybe helped you along your journey that others listening could take from your story and apply to themselves?
Yeah, beautiful. Good question. So yeah, when I was in college, I mean, I will say it, I really never enjoyed it that much because it's not for everybody. I didn't like the main core classes, and so I just cut my college short and just went to work. I held jobs in customer service, recruiting. However, I could never retain a job because I could never advance due to a lot of software that's inaccessible to my needs. And that's another thing I'm trying to work on, is make software more accessible, and also to get employers to understand that, yes, we can work with the right accommodations. And due to these challenges, that's what led me to pursue entrepreneurship. I'm not just doing this because I want to do it. I feel like I have no choice. It's the only way that I'm going to be truly successful in the long run. So I just jumped ship, and just without knowing what's to come, I'm just doing it as I go and see what I can figure out. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. Recently, I talked to Michael Hinkson, who we were talking about inclusion, right? In the fact that a lot of times those with disabilities are left out in terms of, we hear DEI, and having the diversity and things like that. But a lot of times we're talking about culture or gender or things like that too. And we're not saying let's include those with disabilities, whether it's like a neural diversity or it's, blindness or other kind of things. And so I think having these discussions is important too, because there are a lot of people out there that can give, whether it's an employee relationship, and they're working for someone, or they're an entrepreneur and they want to, put something out there in the world. I think, we have to be open to including everybody into, that, whether again, it's an employment pool or it's helping others build their businesses. I think that's really important.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mhm. So any final tips that you would like to give to someone listening who is hearing your story and is now thinking like, well, maybe I can take some steps into entrepreneurship. I was a little afraid. I didn't know if I would be able to be successful. Like, what would you say?
Oh, yeah, just be bold, take the leap. Don't be afraid. Just figure out what you want to do, y'all. Just think of what your true talents and passions are, and just seek the help from coaches, authors, and entrepreneurs, because they'll help you along the way. And just most importantly, make sure it feels right when you want to do something. Because if it doesn't feel right, you won't enjoy it.
That's so true, right?
Yeah.
That's true for anyone, for sure. Like, definitely, you want to enjoy what you're doing. So
Sure.
I appreciate your sharing your insights too. I know we only touched probably a little bit on all of the things that you're doing, but I know we are coming to the end of the time we have together. So I wanted to ask if you have any offer that you would like to share with our listeners.
Yeah, well, I want your listeners to text this number, 832-481-6806. And the word you're going to text is BLISS, BLISS. Text BLISS to that number, and you'll receive my information right there.
Oh, perfect. And obviously they can text that, but is there other ways you want them to connect with you? Maybe like LinkedIn or any other social media that you're on?
Yeah, sure. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. You can find me there. And I believe I shared my digital business card with you. Yeah, you should have it. So you can share that as well. It contains all my socials. And if you want to listen to Real Variety Radio, go to realvarietyradio.com and you'll find it there. And also, you can search for Real Variety Radio on the Get Me Radio app. And my podcast,
Nice.
You can find it anywhere you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, just everywhere. So
Perfect. Well, thank you, Saylor, for being a guest on my show today and talking a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey and, what you have been able to overcome, even with a disability. So I appreciate that.
thank you. You bet. Awesome.
All right. Thanks. And
Thanks.
to the listener, thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this discussion interesting and you are encouraged to follow your dreams no matter what obstacles that you may face. And would you please share with those you know about my show and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform? I'd really appreciate your support. If you have any additional questions or comments, be sure to reach out to Saylor, or you can send me a message at media@abandp.com. I hope you can join me for my next interview. And remember, you can connect with me on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and my website is abandp.com. This episode is sponsored by Affordable Bookkeeping and Payroll Services. If you are overwhelmed trying to handle the financial aspects of your business, ABP is here to help. Contact us today to discuss your needs at 310-534-5577 or contact@abandp.com. My team and I are eager to assist you. Until next time, have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Biz Help for You. Please join your host, Candy Messer, again next time. Have a terrific day.